But usually we just start out with some random chit chat until the people show up. And then I always say, oh my gosh, we're live, everybody. We're live.
I love when it's you have to push a button to be live and then you act shocked that it happened.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my gosh, why did this happen this way?
Don't spoil the surprise, Cavin. This is the magic.
I will pull back the curtain on keto shows.
Keto Chat Live.
I just jump between them.
Hey, everybody, we're live. Do you want to know what keto products to avoid for max results on keto? Oh, that's redundant. Who wrote this copy? Keto products to avoid to max your results on keto. Stick around because this show's for you. Hey, welcome, everyone. Like I said, we're live. This is Keto Chat Live. I'm your host, Carole Freeman. Gosh, I got some degrees and letters after my name and way too much debt to prove it. Kind of know a thing or two about keto. And welcome today. We have a very special guest co-host, Cavin Eggleston, everyone.
Yeah, I have none of those qualifications to talk about these things, so it'll be good.
Here's the official clappy welcome.
Yeah. Oh, I feel so emojied. That's always good.
Welcome, viewers. As you join us, let us know you're here. I can see we've got people watching live, but unless you comment, I can't tell who you are. So join us. Oh, you already got a thumbs up. Awesome. Oh. Kevin, who the heck are you? Sorry, I interrupted your introduction.
So I'm
there.
Cavin Eggleston. I'm a comedian and just all-around swell person.
Yay! That's why I had him here. So excellent. All right, you're new to the show, but I gave him a little bit of the prompt, so he knows next he's supposed to do a medical disclaimer for the show. We got to start out officially here.
Yeah, you got to get my official voice on. Okay. This show is meant for educational and entertainment purpose only. It is not medical advice, nor intended to diagnose, treat, cure any conditions. If you have any medical condition, illness, disease, or are taking any medications, please go see a doctor. Or don't. They went to school for 7 years. What do they know? I went to school for 7 years, and I'm not qualified to tell you anything. And seriously, if you do have questions or concerns related to your specific medical conditions, please contact your medical professional.
That's awesome. You did great. Now, I'm going to spoil a surprise, everybody, but I sent Cavin that, hey, insert joke here into that medical disclaimer, and he told me that was his least favorite part about the job today, but you did great. I loved it. Very funny.
I am pretty awesome at inserting disclaimers.
Awesome. Well, and Cavin always has me on his workshop thing where he gives me a random prompt that I've got to write 5 minutes of jokes in one day. So I figured it was only fair that, I gave you 1 hour to write one word joke. So
yeah. And I did my job and I can go home now, right?
You did. Yeah. See you later. Thanks for coming.
All right. Good.
Please join us live here. Join the conversation. What are your favorite keto products and supplements that you just got to have every day? That's my question to all of you watching right now. So go ahead and type in the chat there. Let us know. Chat, comment, whatever you want, whatever it is. Tell us where you're joining from so I know you're here. And what are your favorite keto products or supplements? Because that's a trick question because I'm going to tell you they're all garbage. But no, not all of them. So all right. Well, let's spend a little more time getting to know this Cavin guy, everybody. So tell us a little bit more about who you are, what's going on in your life.
I am a comic. I am actually broadcasting to you from the beautiful Steel City Arts Foundation studio.
Ooh, sounds fancy.
Where I'm a grantee. So it's just my job is to basically live at Comedy Hogwarts for the next 12 months and try to figure out how to do comedy. Actually, it's less Comedy Hogwarts and more like Comedy My Fair Lady. Like I'm just a street tough British girl that they're trying to refine into a comedy lady.
My Fair Lady, you're using really fancy like literary references that I don't even know. Is that a book? My Fair Lady? Was it a movie?
It's a play. It's that famous, play. Okay. The rain in Spain falls mostly in the plain.
Okay.
Yeah, the jokes on the stage mostly make you feel rage is how I look at it.
Okay.
And I'm actually I am a recent convert to keto.
Okay.
And so I started
I didn't even know.
Yeah, I know. I started hitting up Carole. I was like, I need a comedy Sherpa. I need a keto Sherpa. I need a guru to get me to the mountaintop of getting rid of my man tits. And so here I am.
I like how the T word, when it's reference to a man, is legal to say on air, but if it was in reference to women, not okay, right? Is that
really? That's the male privilege that we need to abolish. I think just anyone should be able to say the T word.
The one, yeah, the one.
Yeah, it's the only problem we have in our modern society in gender roles.
Yep. Otherwise, we're very equal and things are fair. So nice. Well, thank you for coming on. I, my co-host, I want to save them, so I bring them on as a passive aggressive way of teaching them more things. So, no, the topic for today was already set before Cavin said he could come on today. It's not personal.
I felt a little targeted because I was like, I have texted you so many times, like, hey, Carole, can I eat this fake cheesecake? This keto cheesecake. I will murder if I can have just this fake cheesecake. And you're like, you can't have any of those things. But what about this cookie? It says I can have it.
Oh, that's great. That's so great. Yeah, I know. Not personal, but we bumped him up because anyways. Well, my personal check-in, what did I write? I can't remember anything about myself unless I read it from the page.
You guys are kind of internationally trending, I hear.
Yes, we're still on the top 100 charts in Greece, which I just get such a kick out of the fact that Greece is related to keto. Bacon Greece is a country, I guess. So, of course, we're in the top 100 nutrition podcasts there. So if you're in Greece, reach out, say hi. Also, I'm dressed in character today. Dana Wisson, who is a Phoenix area comedian, is also is this a graphic artist? Is this what you would call this? She creates characters for money of people. And so pretty accurate.
Did she make a caricature of you as one of your French girls? Like, did she get the Titanic pose for you?
So oops, I'm trying to do this so the light doesn't reflect off of it, but it's backwards too, so it's hard to. So this is a little. Oh, you can't see my mouse. This little thing is a little cub, and I have a joke about how. Well, I don't want to spoil it, but young guys that date older women are called cubbies, and so this is my little cougar cub next to me on my little lip couch.
I don't like that. I don't like any name that has e's added to the end of it. Any word that you end e's to the end of it is automatically a terrible word. Cubbies, ugh, hate it. Furries, yeah.
Teletubbies,
panties, yeah, no.
Oh,
you
panties,
wear pants. Yeah.
Panties are gross.
Don't like it.
What about undies?
Yeah, no. You
underwear.
Go commando. There's no commando-ease.
Full proper pronunciation, no cute nicknamings. Okay. Is this because back in your past, your mom called you like Cavies? Hey, Cavies, come here.
No, if she would have done that, I would have preferred being an orphan.
Have you ever tried calling your wife Breezies?
She would stab me. And you know what? I would encourage it. I would say, you know what? I deserved this. I deserve ease. That
deservies. Okay, all right. Who is watching us on? We got YouTube's and we got the Facebook people. So I know you're here. You got questions. Let me know you're here. Type in the box. There's a box there. You got a keyboard. Just tell me you're here. So podcast is trending. I got a cute new little character. I'm going to try to do this merch thing. I'm not big and famous enough to
turns out you can buy shirts with your own face on them and they won't stop you. I learned that. They don't even ask questions. Just do it.
Yeah. It's a total ego trip. So that's why I'm doing it. That's it. But also I was at a show, the Cavin's doppelganger up in the Seattle area, Todd Royce. You guys have this running joke where people just say you guys are the same person, even though you guys don't look the same. But I was on a show with him. Volume thing. It seems like it's just it's discriminatory. It's what sizest, right?
It is the closest to fat shaming, really, that I've experienced in a while.
Well, I was on a show with the great Todd Royce and some other comedians from Seattle, and we're all standing out, and I was the only one who didn't have any merch to sell. So for those of you that are not in the comedy world, merch is short for merchandise. So if you've ever been to a comedy show and they sell the T-shirts afterwards, or the beer koozies, or shot glasses, what are some other silly stuff they sell?
Stickers, decals. Stickers. Chad Daniels has my favorite bumper sticker that just says "Drive safe, don't rape." And I've never seen anybody not get incredibly offended by it, but I'm like, it is excellent advice. You drive safe and you should not do that other thing.
Yeah. Focus on one thing. Like, do one thing right now when you're in your car, and that's it. Yeah. So merch, comedians, I feel like there should be this comedy passport. So from your first open mic until you're, I don't know what, touring stadiums, with 10,000 people in it. I feel like there's all these different, is passport quite right? Like some kind of a punch card of like achievements you unlock along the way.
Yeah, kind of like you got like at a national park where they're like, if you go on these 7 hikes, you get a free merit badge. Yeah,
exactly. I feel like comedy is like that. And some of them you just have to put your time in to get there, like to get to a theater, get a Netflix special. But some of them you can cheat, so like merch.
Yeah.
There's no like number of years you've got to be in it. There's no amount of funny you have to prove you are. Well, the one thing you have to have is enough money to bankroll your own merch, because you got to buy it up front yourself.
I think the most delusional I ever saw was a person did their first open mic and then immediately started buying merch for themselves.
Right. No, because that's the next step. That's like my first failed nutrition business. So fun fact, long ago, I had Nutrition Coach Online before I had any credentials. And my first step after getting the URL was to go spend $1,000 on pens and water bottles, because I was like, that's how you start a business. And ran out of money after that and didn't make any money. So shortcut, merch. And I was on the show where everyone else had merch they were selling, but I didn't have anything, because I thought, who am I to be selling that stuff? But one of the people that was at the show, she just literally handed me $25 cash. She's like, I want to support you. You don't have anything to buy. So she bought something from everyone else, gave me cash, which looking back on that is actually better, because I didn't have any overhead.
Yeah. And that is such a nice reaction, because I've had that happen one time. I was doing a show. The headliner was selling his merch, and a lady just came up and she put $10 in my hand and she said, go buy yourself a cheeseburger. And it's not like I mentioned cheeseburgers in my set. It's not like it's a part of my act. So the whole time I'm up there, she's just like, yeah, he looks like he's going to go eat a cheeseburger after this. It's like she had me pegged for how I was going to spend that money. I mean, it was like when you see a person on the street and you're like, they're going to spend it on drugs, but it was cheeseburgers, and she nailed it.
Yeah, she actually gave me the $25, and she goes, here's towards your next eyelash fill. Go get a pedicure. Yeah.
You're like, I like you, but also I hope you get caught with a DUI tonight, lady. You're not that nice.
Oh yeah, actually it was go buy yourself a couple shots of vodka.
Yeah.
She's like, nailed it. Go buy a bottle of wine. You look like you like Chardonnay. I think that's what I look like.
Honestly, discovering that vodka was keto, I was like, this is doable. This is a sustainable diet choice for me. Oh, I'm knocking on the door with bacon and vodka, and that's acceptable? Oh, that hell yeah, for this diet.
Oh, that's a fun fact. Okay, so I used to teach nutrition classes down in Portland, Oregon, and part of the curriculum I researched and taught was the history of dieting. And so a lot of people like to say that like keto is this new fad, but it turns out that low carb dieting was the original diet back in the 1800s. So we went from how do we get enough food into our population, because most people don't have enough, to finally some of the population is getting way too much. And so the first diets came out in the 1800s. And there was that was a pamphlet was written by not doctor at all. He was just William Banting. And in South Africa, they still call keto banting, the banting diet. So it's been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. And there also was another version of it calling the drinking man's diet. And I think I forgot now, but I want to say that even the banting diet allowed for like 2 to 3 alcoholic drinks per day. So the drinking man's diet was similar, where it was like, you just kept the white things out, the sugar, the pasta, the bread. You ate meat and cheese and a little bit of veggies. And of course you had to have an allowance for alcohol back then. So you're going back to the original thing. Oh, here's Susan from Chicago. She's saying, hi, Kevin. Susan. Susan's one of our regulars. Glad you made it here. Awesome. She's a keto herself. So the show's going to go on the road at one point. I've already got a booking in Chandler, Arizona in October. So where Susan says we can come out and do the show out there in Chicago as well too. So how close are you to Chicago, Kevin?
I am 8 hours drive from Chicago.
Okay.
So
much
totally
closer
doable.
than I am. Much closer
and it'll cost me only $90 in tolls. I'm sorry. I have a beef with I'm pretty sure I have a warrant in Illinois for not paying a toll bill.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They just let you drive through. So I figure one day they'll stop me.
Do they not? So in Washington State, they have a lot of toll bridges and some toll roads where they just toll it based on your license plate. Do they do that there, or are you supposed to stop and do something?
They have this you go and we'll bill you, but it's also supposed to be like you already have to have an account generated. And I don't actually know. I never wanted to stop and ask because I was like, the only time it ever became an issue is you drive through, and then sometimes when you take an exit, they'll toll the exit. And I've never had somebody toll an exit. And so I was so mad because one time it's like I took the toll and I just read on the sign it was going to cost me $1.75 to go to the bathroom there.
Oh, so it wasn't tolling the toilet, but they want you to stay on the freeways forever.
Yeah, and I was like, that's fine. I will pee on a Chicago freeway. I don't even care. It's not the worst substance to ever be in Chicago.
Everyone who's watching the video can see my kitty drinking water right now in the background. You have a cat, right, Kevin?
I do not. We have dogs. We're dogs. I don't want to say we're a better family than yours with just your cat, but we have 2 dogs and they are perfect.
I have 2 cats, by the way. I know there's only one in my.
That is the least shocking fact I've learned about you.
That I only have 2. Yeah. One of them is on medication twice daily. I would have a dog. I love dogs, but pre-pandemic times, I traveled quite a bit and I didn't want to leave the dog home. So,
my pseudo boss, Steve Hofstetter, has a dog. We've had to watch it a couple times. His name's Milton. Okay. Yeah, it was very embarrassing to pick up poop from an animal that has more Instagram followers than you.
Did he shame you for it? The dog was like, hurry.
Thank God he was blind, so he couldn't do that thing where dogs make eye contact with you. He thought he was. He's just looking in a completely different direction. But having to just carry it around. And I'm like, this has gotten more likes than anything I've ever done.
Oh my gosh. No, that's actually there's a term for it. I don't know what it is, but people that want to grow their social media following, they'll get some kind of a dog or a cat that has some kind of a medical condition, like a 3-legged dog. And then all of a sudden, oh my God, they're so lovable.
Well, that's what Steve did. He just adopted 3 idiot comedians. Just moved them into a house out here. Downtown Chicago either smells like urine or chocolate. It's a toss-up.
That's Susan's comment for those of you just listening. So
if they're Patrice O'Neill, it could be both.
Oh boy.
Because you've heard that story, right? How he found out he was diabetic?
No,
I don't know. You told me to stay PG-13, but
yeah.
So he was engaged in amorous dalliance with his wife, and he was urinating on her.
Like Disney code. We can.
Yeah. So he peed on her, and she's like, "Hey, we got to go take you to the hospital." Oh, and he's like, "Why?" And she's like, "Your pee tastes like birthday cake."
Was she a nurse? How did she know? How did she know that was one of the signs instead of just going like, "Oh, wow, that's a nice surprise"?
I don't know. How do you let your husband keep telling that joke? Like that's one of those. That should be a sad secret fact, not a share fact.
So knowing comedians, it probably didn't even happen that way. So
knowing Patrice, it probably did.
Okay. Are you guys good friends?
Yes, I have a Ouija board, and he's not getting a lot of bookings right now.
Oh, Susan enjoyed that. She says that's a lovely story.
It's really like a modern romance, is what it is. Yeah. Move over Romeo and Juliet.
Oh boy. Well, Susan, Cavin, you guys ready to hear my client success story of the week?
Heck yeah, let's hear some successes.
Yeah. We brought this in a few episodes ago. Just, here's I have been doing this keto work for I've been doing work with clients about 5 years now. And so I've got this stack of these success stories. So these are all clients that I've interviewed after they've done my initial program. And I've been like, what the heck do I do with all of these? Because there's so many of them. And I want people to know I know what I'm doing, but also they're very inspiring. So I know that when I was starting, and they still continue to be, that like when people hear the success of others, it goes, okay, if that person can do it, I can too. You'll identify things about yourself that you'll see in this person as a success story and go, okay, if they did it, I can. So I've also been sending out every week an email newsletter. And I started putting a bunch of different content in it. So I put one of these episodes. So you might be listening to this episode in the future from having clicked on something in my newsletter. I put a past interview I've done on my YouTube channel. I put my tip of the week, blah, 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 other stuff's product of the week. And then I also will put a success story. And then I track which parts people click on. So I know what they like and what they don't like. And by and far away, you used to be an English teacher. What's that phrase? Far and away, by and far and away.
You can say by far or far and away.
Okay, I'm mushing them all together.
You're having a malapropism. It's fine.
By far and away, once upon a time in a land called Keto, the success stories get the most clicks, like 2 to 3 times any other content that I'm sending out. So that's why I'm bringing these in. So I wanted to share. I picked this story today because it fits with our topic, which is about how all these keto products that are out there on the market, how they actually lead us down a path of kind of lying, false promises to us. So this story is about Nicole. She was in her early 30s and very busy professional, had a high, I'm not going to give any information about Nicole that would let you know who she is. So I'm being vague about some of this on purpose. So, she worked in her family business that, so basically she was the president of a very, very successful company. And so she was doing keto on her own, like a lot of my clients beforehand. And she'd had some success, but got really stuck. And so she was doing all the things that she thought she was supposed to be doing. So she's drinking bulletproof coffee. She was taking exogenous ketones. These are all things we're going to talk about today. Hint, hint. Taking lots and lots of different supplements because a lot of people think that supplements will just make things work faster. Also, let's see, what else was she doing that was, she just, even though she'd been doing keto for a while, she kept having these really big energy drops in the afternoon. And so she just wanted, help me figure this out. Help me get the results that that I see everyone else getting, or what people think they see on Instagram. Because Instagram makes people feel like everyone's losing 30 pounds a day. Why am I not? So 9 weeks later, Nicole, one of the best things she liked about her results is that now when she walks in her closet, she just has too many cute choices. So I know, Cavin, that's what your problem's going to be very soon, walking in your closet and feeling like, oh my God, there's so many cute flannels. I don't know which one to wear today.
Yeah. Actually, I'm hoping to eventually wear something that's not in the flannel region of the spectrum. So,
But you're a man from the Northwest originally. That's your uniform.
Do you know how tough it is importing this look to Pittsburgh?
Oh, really?
Everything's a goddamn hill, Carole. There's no parking anywhere. So you just walk 9 miles straight up a hill. I have died like 6 times, and they put French fries on everything. This place is designed to kill people.
I mean, Seattle has a lot of hills too, but I guess you were south of Seattle where you were living, right? So
that too, and like Seattle's passive aggressive enough that if you just died in the middle of Seattle, you'd like be comforted knowing you were inconveniencing another person. So it was fine. Pittsburgh, they'll just be like, yeah, we'll just use your body as a place to mark where we're. Okay, Pittsburgh, they have a secret. Have you ever heard of parking chairs?
Parking chairs, no.
Yeah, no, you haven't, because who would do this? They'll just set out chairs. I went to park in front of a place for a show. Lady came out and yelled at me. She's like, "Hey, that's my chair's there. That's where I park." And I was like, "That's not. I park a car here. You don't get to park a chair there, ma'am."
I've heard of that for the small town I grew up in Oregon. The Philomath Frolic every year when the parade was going to come through, you'd get up early in the morning and park your chair out on the sidewalk so you could claim your parade viewing space.
Nope, this is life. And they're not even there. It's not even like a fold-up chair like you do for that. These are nice chairs. I thought it was just like they knew you were going to get winded going up this hill, so they were being thoughtful. No, they're like saving a parking spot. Yeah,
like a lazy boy out on the.
Yeah, I thought it was like a protest or something. They're like, this is for the seats that they couldn't take, and you're like, oh, I don't know what this is about. No, nope. Saving parking spots because this place is a nightmare, and I can't wear flannels here. That's half why I have to do keto.
What if you rip the sleeves off? Is that more Pittsburgh?
I don't have muscles. It just I can't, because if I go down the hills, then it's like I have a parachute behind me, just catches the flaps like a winged squirrel.
So Susan in Chicago is saying she used to live in Capitol Hill in Seattle. That was a big hill.
Yeah.
Susan, have you been to Pittsburgh?
No, man.
We have to wait 4 minutes for the delay. So
give me the Midwest. Oh my God. It's just flat. It's flat. It's fat people paradise.
Cars drive for hours and hours. All right. Continuing on with Nicole's success. She was so excited about how many cute outfits she had in her closet. None of them were flannels. I don't know. Maybe some of them were. So basically one of the big things we did for her was get rid of all the keto products and supplements and exogenous ketones and bulletproof coffee. And in just a little bit, I'll go over like why those things were holding her back and why it ended up that she ended up with lots more energy, much more rapid weight loss than she was seeing on her own. And, one of her things that she said to me was that I just helped her up-level her keto game and shift her perspective. So it removed her blind spot. So she said before she thought all of these products were really helping her. And she gave them all away because she no longer, she really could see the difference of how they were actually holding her back and not helping her. So Susan's never been to Pittsburgh. Never. Not yet.
Fix that. Yeah. And can I just say, one of the
Susan,
cool. Oh, hello, Susan. Hi.
Susan's got a flannel fetish. Is that what we say?
A fletished? I don't know.
Fetish.
But I can say, like, and I know this sounds like but goshy gee willikers, like QVC mode. But 9 weeks, like in that success story, like in 9 weeks, she's feeling happier about the thing she's doing.
Yeah.
Like when we're talking about a success story, that's pretty cool. Like that's a pretty cool turnaround. I mean,
I've got a stack of these that Cheryl lost 30 pounds in 9 weeks.
Do you sort them by time for them to feel better about their wardrobe?
No.
It's the quickest wardrobe satisfaction that you've had.
Actually, most of these right now are in alphabetical order because I spent a lot of time the last couple of days going through them, cataloging them. So I've got a new process. I've got somebody that's going to be writing stories for all of these people. So, it's about, if we release one a week, that's about, I don't know, that's probably about 4 years worth of.
That's awesome.
Success stories. So anyways, come back next week. I'll have another one.
If you would have got somebody smart to do this show, they would have done the math to be like, that's how many successes you've had. They would have done 52 times, 4 years. And I was like, I know it's numbers.
And these are the ones that haven't. these are the ones I haven't even released yet. So
yeah,
there's even more. So yeah, math
pretty
was
awesome.
You weren't a math teacher though, so
I was barely an English teacher. Let's be realistic with what I was.
that sounds like all of my teachers from school were just barely a whatever teacher, right? Like we had, for those of you that don't know, Cavin used to be a teacher and then he got to retire from that to do comedy full time. So
yeah, well, I mean, I got to be unemployed full time and do comedy on the side.
Oh, so humble.
Yeah.
Unlike most comedians that are like, I'm a working comedian. Well, that doesn't mean that you work full time and do comedy.
Yeah. You're an Uber driver is then if you're a full-time comedian and nobody knows you, you drive Uber.
Yeah. For the eats or for the rides. So.
Oh, I wouldn't trust those people with actual humans in the car. If I know it's a comedian driving my sandwich, I'll be like, I'll order somewhere else too. Just have a backup.
Oh my gosh. Uber Eats makes me so angry because every time I order something, you get the false hope that like, oh, this is only 15 minutes away. Like, cool, I'll go that one. You order it 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes. It just keeps getting extended. So by the time you get it, it's cold and soggy and you can't do anything about it. And then you're really hungry and mad at the same time.
Yeah, and I feel like when I try to keto up something at a Uber Eats like Chipotle or something, they must know what I'm up to, and they treat me like an idiot. Because like I've gotten in, it's just been like 5 sad shrivels of lettuce, and then just like a chunk of carnita, and then like a sprinkling of fajita vegetables.
They're like, this guy doesn't really want to eat. Why would we waste our food on him?
Well, they're like, it's a burrito bowl. He's missing all the good stuff. He must just be like, they'll just give him the scraps.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I guess it makes me sad.
I know you were online talking about terrible keto pizza crust. There's a couple of places out here in Phoenix that I can order on Uber Eats some different keto crust options that are pretty good. So, but it's so stinking expensive. Like the laziness of like, I just want somebody to bring me some food. Yeah. An hour later, $45 later, 2 meals. And I'm like, no, I could have drove and got that.
It's so stupid. I will drive 8 hours for a $25 show.
Yeah.
And 10 minutes of stage time. And I'll be like, oh man, my time's not worth anything when I'm on the road. Like I'll just do it for the love of it. But if I can convince myself that a $45 Uber Eats charge, because I value my time at apparently $50 for an hour long wait, it's just weird how I'll do that. It's a nightmare. Now, you actually have like some keto restaurants in Phoenix, don't you?
Not full on. Well, we have a keto bakery here. Keto Kitchen Confections. It's insane. Thankfully, it's 40-minute drive away from me, so I can't just go there and get this all the time because she makes amazing, delicious everything. There's like 5 pages of dessert options you can get from her website. So you've got to pre-order them. She has some stuff that you can buy in person. But yeah, it's a special occasion thing because, like in a past episode, I talked about like having those things on hand all the time. Like they taste almost as good as a real thing and you're still going to overeat them. So for example, I got tiramisu to take to my son for his birthday up in Seattle last month. And that was, special occasion. I had to make a trip out there and freeze it and all this kind of stuff. And for my birthday as well. So she does like full cakes of different sizes and all kind. I don't even want to name all the things that she has, but she has a couple of savory options too. She makes these little like hand meat pies that are, like a nice flaky crust on those.
Tell me more. I'm just gonna start like just rubbing my tummy. Just be like, oh yeah,
yeah.
More. What's more on the menu? Tell me about that.
Yeah, so there is a full-on keto bakery in Chandler, Arizona. If anybody wants to go check it out, amazing. And I'm trying to get her on for an interview, but they had moved anyways. There's also another place called Breakfast Kitchen Bar. There's 2 locations in the Phoenix area. They have like 2 full-page menu of keto options that they do, and they're gorgeous, delicious, like, not just like you described the Chipotle that they just like put some crumbs in a bowl for you, but really, really delicious options. And then a lot of other options that have keto-friendly versions, like the Lou Malnato's, which I think is a national chain. I'd never heard of it before I came here, but Lou Malnato's is an Italian restaurant that they will make. You have to call ahead because it takes 30 minutes for them to prep it special, but they'll make a deep dish pizza with a crust made entirely out of Italian sausage, like fresh, ground, pressed into a deep dish shape with all the toppings on it. It's amazing. Yeah. Some keto
like
friends of mine that live here.
Cake, and I like it. I'm here for it.
Yes.
I think like Pittsburgh doesn't have it. I called one bakery to see if I could get a keto cheesecake because I needed it. I needed it more than I've ever needed anything. And I think I offended her because all she said to me was, "Why would you want to do that?" I was like, "Well, I don't want to die before 45." And she's like, "Okay, well, we don't have that." I was like, "All right, yeah. Well, fuck me then."
She's like, good choice. Okay.
Yeah.
Go do that on your own. Go die someplace else.
I think it's because I'm in Pittsburgh and their cultural dish is French fries on everything.
And is it poutine there too, or is that too far away across the lake?
I haven't run into poutine. Pierogies are their big thing, but yeah, it's just you can't find a burger. They'll be like, "Hey, you want us to Pittsburgh that up for you?" And you're like, "What's that?" And you just comes in and it's have a half pound of fried potatoes on it.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
And then they're like, "Go march up a hill, see what happens."
Well, go sit on one of the parking chairs to rest up the hill.
Everyone in this town, massive calves and massive heart attacks.
Susan's got a low-carb pizza she likes from Netrition. I have not vetted this, folks, so I don't know whether I can say yes or no on this one. But Netrition, I shared that site with you, right, Cavin? And they've got it's a landmine. It's like kind of picking and choosing. There might be like a few products on there that I would recommend, but most of them are just like maybe like sugar-free gummy bears that are just a trap.
Yeah, they're not a road trip food. I learned that. Never a road trip food. Never a, hey, I'm going to be trapped in this car for 3 hours. This'll pass the time.
They should come, do you remember when you buy a product and it came with like a free gift with the product, like it was wrapped with it? So sugar-free gummy bears should have like a sample trial size of adult diapers to go with it.
Yeah. Or they should have a thing like, treat them like Tic Tacs, you monster. I had a handful of them, and oh my God, that was the meanest I've ever been to a booker at a club.
I want to eat a handful of Tic Tacs. What are you talking about?
I ate the gummy bears, just one little pack. It's not like I ate the whole bag. I'm not an idiot. And then something gurgled, and I think that's the fastest I've ever driven. And then I had to run into the venue. The booker's like, "Oh my gosh, Cavin, you're here. It's so great to meet you." And I was like, "I don't care about whatever you're saying." And then I just ran into the bathroom. Didn't come out for like 15 minutes.
And then I had to go back.
Then I had to come out and I was like, "Hey, I am really sorry about that. And it was not you. It was everything going wrong with me." And we just didn't talk for the rest of the night.
So I know that on your post on social media that you did about this, people said, like, did you read the reviews of these? Have you gone now and read the reviews on Amazon for these?
I'd read them before. That's the problem.
Oh, okay.
I knew what I was getting into.
I just thought like a small portion was going to be okay.
I thought if you gave me a single serving size, that meant you weren't going to poop yourself. No, they're just like, no, you're just going to only ruin one pair of jeans. I don't know why I trusted the candy corporations to like have my back for once.
Oh man, my poor son, when I first was doing keto, he was doing it alongside of me as well. And he came home one day really excited because he'd found like the Russell Stover sugar-free like turtle candies. And he'd eaten a few on the way home. He's like, "Mom, these are so amazing." And I'm like, "Oh, honey, explain what was going to be happening for him." And it did. And he was like, "Oh gosh, this is not fair. Why are they so good?"
I love how you had to like sit him down and like talk him through like it was his first breakup with a girlfriend. Like, "Sweetie, things are going to be bad now, but it'll be okay later. Just know that it's going to hurt."
Well, you want to like, part of raising kids is when they take initiative on their own to do something, you don't want to immediately squash it. It's kind of like the old stereotype of like when the man loads the dishwasher, you don't tell him he did it wrong because then he'll never do it again. So with kids, you're like, you want to congratulate their initiative, but like when it's like, oh, that's, I know you meant well, but we don't put the forks all the same direction in there. So
you would have been a much better parent than mine. Mine would have just watched and waited with glee as I just destroyed their, and then would have been mad because they're like, this toilet is ruined. I'm like, yeah, you did this by letting me do this.
It's kind of like, what cartoon was that where, to get the kids to just stop smoking, they just made them smoke a whole pack of cigars or something. Was that a cartoon like Mickey Mouse or Donald Duck? Or
I mean, yeah, that's like that stereotype that parents make you do that, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's what keto is with bacon, because I've all of a sudden, like, my joy in a good slice of bacon has decreased on this.
Oh, no, that's not.
Which is probably for the better. Like, I shouldn't be trading one vice for another.
Maybe you've touched on a new idea for a keto, like a carb rehab center. So I don't know if you know this or not, but like this may be spoiling something for somebody, but like the Schick-Shadel approach. So I learned part of my degrees. I have a master's degree in psychology, and we learned about all these inpatient addiction treatment facilities. And so Schick-Shadel, they do this inpatient thing where they actually give you what's the one that Danny Partridge was on? The what the hell is his real name?
Danny Bonaducci?
Yeah, Danny Bonaducci, the drug that you take that makes you violently ill if you consume alcohol.
I don't know I knew the thing, but I didn't know it has an actual drug name.
Yeah, Narcan, is that what it? I don't remember.
No, that's what they give you if you're having an OD on like heroin.
Right. So whatever the drug is, I can't remember.
Come on,
right
you
now.
lived close enough to Portland. You should know this.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know which of us is closer to Portland. It's probably a toss-up, but you're
I'm
probably
closer to
away.
the main one.
Okay. So the Schick-Shadel approach is they actually give you that drug that blocks your body ability to detox the alcohol, and it makes you violently ill. And so just like if you've ever had like bad seafood and it's made you violently ill from that, it conditions your body to be so repulsed by alcohol that you won't ever touch it again. So that's why they can claim within 10 days they can cure your alcoholism. So maybe the carb rehab equivalent of that is they're going to force feed you gummy bears and sugar-free turtle candies so that you just poop yourself to death and almost die from dehydration. And then you're like, okay. And at the same time,
I could just see a fat kid getting driven closer and closer to that rehab facility, and him knowing something's up because everyone's wearing like galoshes and like a raincoat. It's like the front row of a Gallagher show.
Yes.
He's like, wait, are we going to the carb rehab place? And he's just like trying to get out. It's for your own good.
Oh my gosh. And they're wearing the
shield.
Plastic shield, yeah.
Just one guy just hosing out a white room.
All right.
That's sad. Okay, that was gross. You're like, hey, keep it clean, Cavin. I'm like, how about people drowning in diarrhea? We'll do that. And hey, you want to hear a funny story about Patrice O'Neill?
See, I told you it'd be fun. Bring your own brand of. So now franchising inquiries for our franchise opportunity for Carb Rehab Center. I don't know what we're going to call it, but poop yourself sober.
Scared sweet? I don't know. Oh my God, wouldn't that be great? You know how they took the kids to prison to make them stop being delinquents?
Yeah.
We could do that, but with like kids that are addicted to sugar.
Scared savory.
Yeah, there we go.
Hey, we better move along to our news segment here. We're gonna have fun talking about pooping franchises, but Luminato's founded in Chicago. Okay, no wonder they got the Chicago style deep dish there. Is that what accent am I doing? I don't even know.
That was definitely more Wisconsin than Chicago.
It just came out of me. I don't even know what came over me. Just blend them all together. All those states around the lakes, they sound the same, right?
I mean, I barely treat them like people, so yes, they're all the same.
So
there's a news story because I have been having this problem where I'm like, I've always been like hey, give me just a magic pill.
Yeah.
And my phone has also been like, hey, we want to help you on this weight loss journey. So all my targeted ads have been like keto specific things. So I saw an article that popped up, and I don't know how to share this. And
I'll put it in the chat here for everybody.
Yeah.
So
latest optimum keto diet pills Shark Tank warning review, scam exposed 2021. And I was like, ooh, I like scams and scandals.
Yes.
And then you're my keto Sherpa. So I was like, Carole.
Yeah. This, you guys, this article, I think we're gonna spend more than an hour today. So buckle up, folks. This is a fun article because it's so crazy, so crazy. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this looks like, those of you following along, I posted it it's on my Facebook page, on YouTube. You should be able to see this as well if you'd like to follow along with this crazy. So the internet, what can we even believe anymore? So this looks like a legit, it's posted on The Signal, Santa Clarita Valley since 1919. Like, it looks like a modern website version of old school newspaper that's been around forever, over 100 years, right? That's what this looks like. And the title, alert, latest optimum, scam exposed. That's what the title of this article is. But you roll down, and the author, by the way, is Published News. So that seems like this must be real. This is news. They're exposing the scam. We better read this. But you look at this whole thing, and the whole thing just basically talks about these optimum keto diet pills and how great they are and why you should buy them and why keto supplements do. And the review isn't a review. It's just, there's like random subheadings in this entire article that if you read those, it sounds like they're really giving you a review and alerting you to the scam. But the paragraphs underneath the headings don't even match that. So I feel sorry for so many people out there that are trying to make sense of this. Like, I understand why people that come to work with me, they're so confused because they read stuff like this when they're really trying to figure this out on their own. And how would anybody know that this wasn't real, except for you've got to look at these red flags here, right? Special discount, order today. Like, how is this a scam alert? There's nothing in here that talks about that. And the ingredients of it. What are the benefits of the pills? Okay, this part, you guys, is really funny because it says, what are the benefits to optimum keto diet pills? Optimum keto diet pills, there are many benefits to your overall health. Below are some of the benefits. Like, it's just repeating words. So this technique of this article is something that's called keyword stuffing. Not keto stuffing, not the regular stuffing, not the French fry stuffing they're doing in Pittsburgh, apparently. But yeah. This technique is called keyword stuffing. And so basically they're repeating all these words. They do research about what are things people are actually searching for. Then they, and Susan's reading the article along with us too, because she said, warning, due to extremely high demand, there's a limited supply. It runs out today, it says, in 9 minutes. So this is all just, it's promised to alert us about a scam, but this article is the scam. Like, oh man, where I was getting so excited. Anyways, keyword stuffing. So when you put a bunch of the words that people are searching for, this is something that Google got really good at recognizing, and there aren't a lot of articles that are still like this. So I don't know how this one bypasses Google's spider crawling of all this, but so the fact that it says, what are the benefits? There are many benefits. Here are the benefits. What are the benefits? Like, it just says benefits in every sentence for 4 sentences straight. Says 100% natural and has no side effects. Well, that's complete bull bleep, 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 because beta hydroxybutyrate is not a natural thing. Like, you have to create that in a lab. And then it says, I love this part because it says DA approved the product. Is that the Drug Administration? The DA, like district attorney? Did they leave a letter out? Are they implying that the FDA approved it? Which it doesn't do, but it stops the production of fat. No, it doesn't. There's nothing. It has magnesium, calcium, exogenous ketones, and bioperine, which is an extract from black pepper. What what they're like. Tell me how that blocks fat. It doesn't. So, oh, Valerie's here. Valerie, oh, we just got here and busted an article. Let's get to it. Nice. Yeah, so I'm just laughing and dying about how terrible this article is, but also it probably is selling. I hope none of you watching go buy this, but probably somebody will, just because it sounds amazing. Like you said, Cavin, like people just want to take a pill. Like they don't want to do the hard work of changing what they're eating. It's too hard to resist those piles of fries in Pittsburgh. So give me a pill that promises all these garbage.
Honestly, I just appreciated like my 4 days of feeling like crap, giving up sugar, where I just had an excuse to be mean to people, and I could just blame it on every. I'm like, I almost debate breaking keto every couple days just to reset being angry at people for no reason.
Okay, that's a true passive aggressive Northwesterner.
Yeah, that's my Seattle coming out. But yeah, I love this article because there's not even like some of these aren't even proper sentences.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't tell if like somebody with predictive text wrote this. But also it just sounds like, isn't it just a vitamin supplement that if you're lucky, will just make you have have extra calcium and magnesium?
Yeah. So the BHB, we'll talk about that. So that's what's considered an exogenous ketone. But in my next segment about like what products are not doing you any favors, I'll explain more why like people think ketones are good, more must be better, and why that's actually a false premise. And so, the product itself, oh man, yeah. I don't know. We'll get into that next, but yeah, more about this specific article about like red flags to look at, folks, is, first off, I'm going to show like at the very top, there's a graphic. I'm not going to show, I'm looking at, there's a graphic on there that says made in FDA approved facilities. And I've got extensive training in supplement, how they're produced and tested and all that kind of stuff. That was part of my education. We learned about supplement production and the approval process and, the lack of it, basically. And so I'm like, I don't think that's really a thing. So I just did a quick little Google search, FDA approved facilities. First article that comes up is from the FDA itself, Federal Drug Administration. And it says, the FDA does not approve companies. The FDA does not approve healthcare facilities, laboratories, or manufacturers. So there's a bold-faced lie on that article as well and printed on that product. So, the other thing that we found was really fun too is that the author is published news. And if you just click on that, it will take you to a list of all the articles that published news has published on this website. And they're all ads for other garbage products. So.
Yeah. And now correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't it in America, like you don't have to have nutritional supplements even approved? Like you just get to, if you want them, you can just put them through. So they're even just lying and trying to hope you won't figure that out.
Yes. That is a fun fact of U.S. supplements is that there is no testing pre-release. Anybody could put anything in a bottle, in a pill, in a liquid. And if you call it a supplement, you don't have to have anybody test it at all for safety or efficacy, that word. You don't have to do anything. So it's only if people complain or they have adverse effects to it, then, and it has to be enough of them that the government will step in and then test it for safety and to see what's in it. So that's whatever it says is on the label there. Nobody's actually even tested that unless, so there are some supplement companies that are really, really high quality that do test. There are third-party certification things that people can do, but it's expensive. And if you just want to make a quick buck, why would you spend the time in doing that? So that's 100% true, Cavin. Cavin dropping the nutrition facts here.
Yeah. The least likely person to know a nutrition fact. That's the one I know.
Yeah. Also, the same is true of products as well. So nobody has to go, like if somebody's going to release a product. So this is where a lot of these keto products slip through the cracks as well, is that nobody has to, you have to have a nutrition label on products, but there's no verification process. There's nobody that goes and tests the product to make sure that what you say is in it is in it. And this is food. There's nobody that goes and verifies that your label is correct either. This is also something I learned in school. And one of the keto conferences years ago, there was this product out there that I know. So to make a fat into a powder, you have to spray it on some kind of a substance to make it stick to it. And that's almost always got to be some kind of a carbohydrate thing. A lot of times it's maltodextrin. So for example, like, those magical gravy packets that are powdered that you add water and it turns into a fatty gravy. So that's all my mom ever cooked with when I was growing up, was like Lowry seasoning packets of every kind. So in order for that to be a powder form, because it's got fat in it, it has to be sprayed onto maltodextrin, which is a starch. So there was this product at this booth, and it was, powdered fat. And I was like, okay, so I see on the ingredients here, there's no carrier carbohydrate or starch. Like, how did you guys do this? Like, what's this magic technology? And the guy at the booth was like, oops, that's the old label. That's the wrong one. We actually have maltodextrin in it. Okay, cool. Like, that's an important nutrient that keto people try to avoid. And so that's just an example of how supplement, nobody's checking the facts, folks. So do not buy this product. Oh, I can't say that, right?
And we all knew that because the serving sizes were lies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, Valerie, there's search engine optimization in a way that preys on human emotion. Absolutely, yeah. So the other thing, like a lot of those keto articles out there, folks, even ones that are much better than this one that aren't full of lies, the title itself is written before the article is, right? No, Cavin, when you're teaching English,
I actually taught journalism in high school too. Yeah, so this is in my wheelhouse. Yeah,
we're excluding the journalism, but just to write like a paper, you're supposed to write the paper first, and then you come up with a title based on what you wrote or what you researched, right? Journalism, modern day journalism, is totally the opposite. It's actually, what are people Google searching for? Yeah. And whatever the top ones are, let's write an article that says that exact title.
Yeah, and it's actually kind of a baffling one, because most, like, if you're an ethical journalist, you don't usually write your own headlines. Your editor usually writes your headlines.
Okay.
So they probably have this headline, but it's crazy because they know most people only read the headline. And so it's very weird that headline's worded that way for that article. Yeah. It's almost like they know human behaviors are, I'm going to click that article and then skim, and then they'll keep clicking the links. Because I'm sure what they're thinking is that people will think it's written about another product and this is the good one instead.
Yeah.
It's fascinating in a way that's really awful.
Yes.
You know what doesn't have product suggestions that they don't have to follow? Bolt cutters and vodka and rags. So you could break into there, get some bolt cutters, just break into their factory and Molotov cocktail it.
We're not promoting that at all. That's just a hilarious, funny, like
it could be
metaphor.
Who knows,
metaphor.
Carole? I know you don't believe in crimes, but maybe some crimes.
Oh, they would just go start another one with another.
And does this actually even say where the product is made? I'd be very curious where it comes from. I mean, I would almost bet you this isn't an American-made product.
Yeah, I didn't want to point that finger there, but I would.
I mean, yeah. If I was going to make something shady, why spend real money?
Yeah. Yep. Probably home printed. I can't. Those bottles probably have labels that would be falling off if you got one of them.
Yeah. We'll know because I ordered 3. They're going off sale today.
Yeah, you had to hurry. Like Susan said, like they're going to run out of stock today. Just
if we've learned nothing, I am a sheep for products.
Oh, well, okay. Ready to talk about why?
Yeah, I was gonna say you had some that you said would work, and then some that don't work. I want to hear that.
Okay, yeah. So, welcome to the teaching segment, folks. Cavin and I are having so much fun going this might be our longest record episode. So that makes me excited because you're all having the longer we're on, the more people we're going to get watching. So this is good. All right. So the topic today is what and how, maybe just what, I don't know, keto products that sabotage your results. So that's what they are and my recommendations for what to do instead. So I've kind of broken these down into two different categories of really common products that people are buying because they think it's going to give them better results on keto. And one is a supplement category. The other one is snack products / like pseudo carby foods, like replacements for our former carb addiction foods that we had. So the supplements then are things like exogenous ketones. So this, what is that optimum keto product? The BHB that you see, the beta hydroxybutyrate, is what's considered an exogenous ketone. So I'm also going to put in here fat loss pills. In the keto sphere, those fat loss pills are also going to have this exogenous ketones in it. And also I'm putting in here electrolyte supplements too. So a lot of those are leading people astray on keto as well. So the myths that people believe about these products, and maybe, let's see, I'm going to also, in a minute, I'll explain a little bit more about what are these exogenous ketones and also like why they actually block fat burning instead of blocking fat storage like that article said. But, the beliefs that people have, why they're buying these things is that, for one, for the electrolytes, they're like, oh, they've heard like you got to manage your electrolytes. You got to take electrolyte supplements. Keto wreaks havoc on your electrolytes. So that's the thing that people are trying to address there. For the exogenous ketones, people are out there spreading these lies like that article, but also there's some really popular multi-level marketing exogenous ketone products out there that people buy as well. So my success story, Nicole, that I talked about, she was buying a lot of those products because she bought into the myth that they helped speed up weight loss. So people that are selling those things will say that, well, it gets you into ketosis and ketosis equals fat loss. Therefore, more ketones is better, means you're going to lose weight faster. It's all a lie. I'll tell you why in a minute. But also the other thing, so they promise too that it will curb your cravings if you take those. Also, the other lie that I think is very dangerous is that they say that, well, if you cheat, if you have that pile of Pittsburgh fries, just drink these ketones, just take that ketone supplement and you'll be right back into ketosis. So basically it erases a cheat. All right. I think that's the most dangerous thing they're promising. And I'll talk about why in a minute too. So those are the reasons.
Like being in a different area code.
Tell me more. I'm not following.
It doesn't count if you're cheating, if you're in a different area code. That's
right,
just,
okay.
There's a whole song about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Or like if the crumbs fall off and you eat them before they touch the floor, then those don't count either, right?
The 5-second rule of keto. Yeah. I like it.
If you take exogenous ketones within 5 seconds of eating carbs, then the carbs don't count. Okay, lies, myths. Then the myth then that people believe about like the keto snack products or, keto bread or keto cookies or keto, I don't know, gummy bears or something, is that people have the false belief that these things will help them stay on keto because it helps overcome cravings. So I'll talk about that as well too. So those are all the myth understandings that people have. That was my Meg Tyson. Am I going to get canceled for that? Okay. Moving on.
I mean, I suggested mild arson. So okay. I think we're going down together on this one, Carole.
We always fall back to the medical disclaimer. We may have to have like a humor disclaimer as well at the beginning of these shows now. But folks, like we said, this is for entertainment and educational purposes only.
Yeah.
None of this is
Next
actual
episode,
direction.
I'll talk to you guys how to make your Molotov cocktails.
No. Do we have a keto version? Is it kind of like a Mai Tai?
Yeah,
like
it's you actually
cocktail?
Just use Tito's.
Okay. And those BAI drinks, the BAI. Anyways. Okay. Oh, so Sue's gonna Susan, I keep calling her Sue. Ulame Element chocolate salt and a Topo Chico sparkling coffee. Oh, that's like a very bougie macchiato with the sparkling water then. So that, spoiler alert, Element is one of the products that I'm going to say that I do recommend. So I'll talk about that in a little bit here too. But okay, So I covered the myths of each of these categories. Let's get into the truth. Let's talk about the truth, man.
Okay, you got to get your Alex Jones voice on for this.
Alex, wait, what's it sound like? Give me.
You're like conspiracy theory. I want you to be unreasonably angry for what you're talking about.
Oh, Butterfly Sue's here. Hi. She's actually in England. So where have you been, Sue? We missed you. We've got a guest co-host today, Cavin. So he's a keto newbie. So welcome, Sue. Welcome, Cavin. We're just getting into the myths about keto products. So, folks, stay tuned for the truth. No, what?
That was close. You're doing good. You're doing good.
Live now. The truth, folks.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
You just need a desk to slap. Oh, that'd be good.
Truth at 11, folks. Truth. I'm
All
tired of these lies and these articles and these clickbait, keyword stuffing articles. Let's get to the truth.
So you told me about electrolytes because that was actually one of the hey, Carole, I think I'm going to do something stupid. I'm going to do keto. And you're like, great, here, let me give you a heads up. And you start talking about electrolytes. And I'm like, I only know those from Gatorade commercials. Talk to me about them.
This shows how much I care about Cavin, because most everybody else that tells me they're going keto, I'm like, good luck. Figure out things on your own. And then if you really need help, come pay me.
Well, that's because you also know that I'm kind of dumb and I'd be like dead in a week on my own. Or you just read an article where you're like, local comedian mauled a woman for a cheesecake. You were just saving someone else. It's like a therapist that has to like say my client might hurt someone.
Yeah. My therapist says I have a problem with trying to rescue people. So maybe that's what it is too.
I am like a rescue.
Yes. Send donations accepted for the Cougar, the Cavin Cubby Rescue, which
God, the Cavies Cubbies.
Oh boy.
Electrolytes.
Yes, electrolytes. Electrolytes. Truth, folks. I don't know how that's going to come out on the podcast, but Valerie says it's time for some truth bombs, apparently handmade by Cavin in cocktail form.
Yeah, it's just alcohol and a rag. It's the simplest 2-ingredient life hack I've found.
Oh God, why is this making me more nervous than talking about COVID these days? Electrolytes. Okay, what are electrolytes? Thank you so much for asking the good questions, because I would just gloss over and say like, here's what you do. Electrolytes are minerals that need to be in our bloodstream in the right amounts to keep the magic happening, basically. So they're sodium, calcium. Oh God, where's my nutrition quiz? They're minerals, folks. That's what I'm going to say. They need to be in a certain amount in our bloodstream, but they also need to be in the rest of our body as well. Really, the only one that we really need to worry about on keto for most people is going to be salt. I've found doing this work for 6+ years with lots and lots of people. Remember my stack of success stories here now. That doesn't look like as much on video as it does in person. Like this stack is like 4 feet tall in person. That I found that if we get the salt right, almost nobody needs. Oh yeah, Valerie's telling me potassium. Yes, that's another one. Good. Almost nobody needs any other electrolytes. There are exceptions, but also I'm a trained professional and I help people walk through these specifically. But salt is really the one that you need to worry about the most. And the reason for that is when we're in ketosis, our kidneys are freely releasing salt, which, flashback to Kevin's Patrice O'Neill story. You're gonna pee out a lot of salt basically in ketosis, and so you need to replace it. And the reason why some people, if they don't get the salt right, why they need all the other electrolytes is because our body's backup storage of electrolytes is. Here's a fun quiz. Can you guess, Kevin? If you don't eat enough electrolytes, where's your body have to get them from?
I don't know. I don't know anything about our bodies.
I know.
I went to a public school in a very rural state or rural part of the country.
Random body part, just, for fun.
Does it take it from your muscles and your bones and other
your bones?
Places?
You did.
Oh my God.
Bones, yeah. Your bones, yeah. So bones are made of minerals. And so when your body's short on certain minerals, if you're not eating them and you're peeing them out, your body will break down your bone. And actually, fun fact, your body's actually breaking down bone all of the time and rebuilding it in order to keep your blood electrolytes perfect. They're a very narrow window of like sodium, for example, in your blood needs to be between 135 and 145. And in order to keep it in that perfect level all of the time, your body's breaking down bone, rebuilding it. And so it should be this balance that during the day, you want the same amount rebuilt as was broken down. But if you're not consuming enough salt, your body's got to go and break down bone. It can't just pick the salt out of your bones. It's got to break it all down. And then if it doesn't need those other stuff, it's just going to flush it out in your feces, your urine. And so if you're getting the salt right, your body doesn't need to have a net loss of bone to get all the salt out of your bones. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but basically getting the salt right, I found people don't need a lot of the other electrolytes. So a lot of people will say like, oh, you got to supplement with magnesium and calcium and potassium. And again, some people need the extra stuff, but I found that if we just focus on the salt part, you don't need to take all these crazy supplements. The other part of that is that the need for salt typically is at least 2 grams a day. Some people need up to 10 grams a day on keto or more. And most of your electrolyte supplements on the market are very low in salt because most people still fear it. And so you want to find an electrolyte supplement that has at least 1 gram per serving in it. And I've got a couple of recommendations of some that do have that. So, and then the other thing I don't like about most electrolyte supplements, even though they don't, on top of the fact they don't have enough salt, is that they also have sweeteners. Maybe some of them have some sugar in it, and those just will perpetuate cravings for you instead of actually fixing your electrolyte problem.
That's so. Thank you for explaining that, because I only ever knew electrolytes from like Gatorade commercials or like when I was really hungover and was just downing a Pedialyte to make it to my 8 a.m. class. You know.
I thought you were going to say your 8 a.m. AA meeting.
Yeah, no, that would be worse. But not much because I was teaching. Just had to get rid of that hangover to put on Netflix and hope those kids learned.
Well, and here's a little fun fact about like why Gatorade has like glucose in it. It has sugar, and Pedialyte too. Is that if you can get, so when you consume sugar, your body releases insulin. One of the many things that insulin does. So insulin, think of this, insulin is the opposite of ketosis, basically. So whenever insulin is going up, ketosis is going down. And so ketosis promotes sodium loss from the kidneys. Insulin is going to do the opposite. It promotes your body to hold on to sodium. So part of what Gatorade is doing, it gets you a dose of sugar that makes your body hold on to sodium and your other electrolytes. So that's why that has sugar in it. And most you'll have people that'll say like, oh, you need sugar in your electrolytes in order to do this. Not necessarily. So
interesting.
You had no idea how much you're going to learn here.
No, I didn't. I actually resent the fact that I'm learning so much.
Well, it's been nice having you this one time. Hope you never come back again.
Look forward to going and trying to make myself forget all of this.
There's a reason why you retired from teaching, so you didn't have to know things.
My brain was full. I thought I was done.
Something has to squeeze out. You know you're going to forget one of your jokes for learning all this, right?
Oh, my wife's face is growing blurrier as this goes on.
Oh, no. This is like Back to the Future where pictures, like things blur out in the pictures, like
forgetting my childhood. That's fine. Oh, no. That's fine.
That sometimes that's a good thing. So I don't know what yours is like, but maybe that's good. Thanks, Mrs. Eggleston.
Yeah, it produced a stand-up comedian. It wasn't great.
I can't. I don't know, Mr. and Mrs. Eggleston. That just sounds like the most adorable Disney couple, Pixar couple, Mr. and Mrs. Eggleston. I don't know.
Like they'd own a farm. Yeah. Be slightly egg-shaped. Yeah.
They're blissfully ignorant of the ways of the world. They're just like.
Well, they named their kid after a character in the Gummy Bear cartoon, so they're not great people.
Oh, love you guys. If you ever watch this, Congrats on your Pixar special. Yeah. All right. Up next, exogenous ketones. Okay. Cavin's going to lose some more of his childhood with all we're going to talk about in this one. Okay. So, I got to reset with this a little bit. So ketones, what are those? The reason we follow the goal with a keto diet is that we want our body to make ketones. We want our body to make them. And the reason it's making them is because it's burning its own fat for fuel. The way that you get there is you need to keep carbs low enough that basically you starve your body of carbohydrates. You force it to go into its alternate fuel producing mechanism. So if our bodies are healthy, we have metabolic flexibility, which teaser. Spoiler alert, I'm going to talk about that next week's episode. But if we have metabolic flexibility, when we don't eat, our body should be able to burn its own fat. When the 2% of the population that's lean and they forget to eat during the day, they have that metabolic flexibility that when they eat food, their body burns that. When they're not eating, their body starts to burn its own fat and makes ketones. And so for a lot of us, like I was in this boat, I was eating carbs so frequently, my body said, well, I guess we don't ever need to worry about burning fat because she's just going to keep feeding us all the time. And it turns off all the mechanisms that burn our body fat and make these ketones. And so we basically stuck in the carb burning mode. And so in that mode, insulin is high all the time. Our body doesn't make any of the enzymes to burn fat. Our fat essentially is locked up in storage. And the recipe for this is it makes us feel hungry all of the time. It makes us feel really low energy. It makes us crave carbohydrates like crazy. And so it's a recipe for why all of the United States and now most of the world too is just keeps gaining more and more and more weight. Constantly hungry, low energy, and we can't even burn our own fat. And so basically to get our body to remember how to burn fat again, we have to starve it of carbohydrates. So that's the 4 days Cavin was saying where he was miserable, getting his body to remember like, hey, you have this other ability to burn your own fat. You have ability to make these ketones. I always think of it as the analogy is like, you've got this rusty furnace in the basement that hasn't been used in a decade or more. And it makes a noise like chitty, chitty, bang, bang. Like when it starts back up, the dust is blowing off of it. It takes time for your body to start to make the enzymes and cellular membrane components and all of this stuff in order to let the fat out and start to burn it. And ketones, turns out, are an alternate to carbohydrates that most of your cells in your body can use in place of carbohydrates. And they kind of work like jet fuel in the body. So when the brain gets ketones, that's where that mental clarity comes on board. People often find then that their energy is really calm and stable all day long. It's even instead of the carb energy goes like this. And so the whole reason for us going on a keto diet is basically to wake up our body's fat burning furnace in the basement and get it to be able to burn that like a diesel burning, fat burning machine. And so the goal, I hope you're getting the story here, is that we want our body making its own ketones. Now, the American way is that if some is good, more must be better. That's why we've invented green smoothies. Vegetables are good. How can we choke down more of them? I know, add sugar to them and blend them up in a blender. More is not better, folks. So our body will naturally make the right amount of ketones. And it has these mechanisms in place to keep them from going too high. Because guess what? Too high of ketones is also really dangerous. We know that high blood sugar is not good for us. High ketones is also dangerous. But when you're keeping carbs low, that's never going to happen. Your body is going to be able to manage that. Asterisk for people that have type 1 diabetes, that's a different case. But in people with healthy pancreas, your body will regulate that really, really well. So guess what happens when you take a supplement like the Alert Optimum Keto Scam Exposed Shark Tank scam product that has exogenous ketones in it, right? So body's humming along, making ketones, burning its own fat. We pour more ketones in the body. Any guesses what would happen?
Do you just poop it all out, or does it send you into a bad space? It will, depending on how the bathroom is, it could still be a bad space.
Actually, neither one. It is, I don't know the type of machine analogy to make with this, but basically It's like your body's got its own fuel source. You add more fuel into there, and the body goes, oh, okay, we got to burn this thing because too much is too high. So let's stop making our own, turn off fat burning in our own body, turn off making ketones because we got to burn this little pill you gave me first. So it will start to raise your blood ketones, but your body goes, oh, slow down, that's too many. So it puts the brakes on your body's fat burning, your body's ketone production. So basically you're slowing down your own fat loss by taking these things in. So all of these supplement manufacturers are preying on the fact that nobody understands this mechanism. They just think ketosis means fat loss, so more must make me lose more fat.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that makes sense explaining it that way, because your body naturally wants to make that equilibrium.
Right.
And it already has got it figured out. And so, of course, it's going to be like, more's not going to help me. It's like, it's kind of like, I guess, when you're putting fuel on a fire and you put too much on and you smother it.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah. So Valerie's a natural stand-up comedian here. So I'm actually going to have her come on as a guest host coming soon. So she says, more is not always better. Too much of anything could be trouble. Toothpaste, ketones, husbands. The list goes on. I don't know if that's a personal problem that Valerie's had, but maybe she's speaking from experience. Too much toothpaste. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, ketones are just fuel, and if you have too much of them, your body will release insulin. Same way it releases it for too many carbohydrates, your body releases insulin to slow down fat burning and ketone production. So it's not doing you any favor, folks. And in fact, it's just going to slow down your results. So they're going to do exactly the opposite of what they promise. The other
believe in your body, folks.
Yes.
Come on. Stop thinking the fake you is better.
Yeah.
It's very body positive of you here, Carole.
Yes. Your body's magical. Just feed it and take care of it.
As they said, your body is a wonderland. And I'm sure that's what that song's about.
Jason Mraz, right? Jason Mraz is promoting healing with Whole Foods all this time.
The song is about ketosis. Not Jennifer Love Hewitt.
That's a fun fact about this show. Every single episode, we have some musical reference. We have not paid the royalties to play the song, but we do have some kind of a musical reference that just.
So now
up.
Carole's gonna hum it, and you just have to assume it's right. I knew that would work. First, I got the Alex Jones voice. Now I'm getting the humming. It's great.
I'm genetically not blessed. I have very tiny hands, and I cannot carry a tune. Is it because my hands are too small? I can't hold it. Oh, that's really bad. All right. The other concern I have with a lot of people promoting these exogenous ketones, they're promoting them as a cheat hack. Like you eat carbs, take the ketone supplement, and you're back into ketosis. But high blood sugar and high ketones at the same time is a very dangerous state called ketoacidosis. And so this is a lot of people, it's not so much out there now, but when keto first started getting popular, people would say like, oh, keto is dangerous, ketoacidosis. They're different states. And again, if your pancreas is working correctly, you can't have high ketones and blood sugar at the same time. But what are we doing? We're bypassing our body's natural ability. Like carbs are low, we make ketones, right? If you eat carbs, ketones go down low. This is our body's natural mechanism that it keeps us in balance. So what are we doing? We just ate carbs, it goes high, and then we take a ketone supplement to bypass our body's natural ability. I have concerns about the danger of this. And again, these ketone supplements, like Cavin talked about, there are no testing. Nobody has had to prove that these are safe to even take these. Nobody's checked what happens if you eat a high carb meal and take one of those supplements. Nobody's done that test. So that's scary to me.
Is it going to be like the baking soda vinegar volcano of dieting? Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Those are pretty awesome. Maybe that's not the metaphor we should use.
Yeah. Have you ever eaten Mentos and drank Coke?
Yeah.
Or whatever did you do?
Yeah, I mean, have you not?
No.
Okay, well,
there's several things that Cavin
I'm
knows me
pretty
well
sure.
enough to know that, like, I'm discerning about certain things I put in my body. Other things, you'd think
Yeah.
that I would do stupid stuff like that.
No,
So,
for a while, I had a blood alcohol content and a GPA that were the same number.
oh,
So
hey,
I've done it.
okay.
It's not great.
Future past teacher of our future resident, folks.
I taught because I can't do anything else.
Well, that was always, I don't remember so long ago, but there are doctors out there that got C's and D's. You can still get a medical license and not be the top of your class. So,
Oh, is that son of a bitch, John Mayer?
John. Oh, who did I say?
Jason Mraz.
Oh, they're the same person, I'm pretty sure. I don't know how you can tell them apart.
Wow, all basic-looking white guys with guitars look alike to you?
Yeah.
Jeez, Carole.
Yeah.
That's the cancelable thing on this podcast.
Can't tell white dudes apart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're still live on Facebook. Yeah, we didn't get kicked out of there. Okay, cool. Finally, thanks everyone for hanging tight. Finally, snack foods. Okay, snack foods also like those keto carby things. So a lot of people walk into the grocery store and they're just like, oh my gosh, Franz is making keto bread and keto hot dog buns, and I can get keto cookies now, and I can get keto protein bars and anything you can think of now, chocolate bars, all these things. The truth is that anything that has fat and sweet together, regardless of whether it's real sugar or not, just a sweet taste, that actually increases appetite. Though that combination is what's called a highly palatable combination. It hits a part of our brain that makes us want to not stop eating it. And so all snack foods are in that category. And unfortunately, most of the keto products that are coming out now also fit that category. So people have the false belief that if I'm just eating keto foods, I can lose weight. But I can tell you, you can gain weight eating keto foods, especially eat them in a way that you're hitting on that part of the brain that goes like, oh my God, that's so delicious, I can't stop eating that. So, so Susan's sharing that, like, I'm not adult enough to have keto ice cream in the house. Me either. Like, yeah, I will eat an entire pint of that just like I could eat a pint of Ben & Jerry's. So, it's lower calorie because it doesn't have the sugar, but also it's just, another 600 calories that I didn't need. So the keto snack foods, the combination is going to make you turn on your appetite. Also, they increase cravings. So anything that's sweet actually reinforces a craving rather than bypassing it. So this is another really big myth that people believe, that by having something sweet, it makes their craving go away, but it actually just reinforces this. Now, I covered this on episode, I'm not going to go so much into it right now, but episodes 1 through, let's see, which one is it? Episode 6. I go into this a lot. I spend not the whole episode, but the big segment of that one on talking about why sweet actually increases and reinforces cravings rather than getting rid of it. And also keep in mind that most of these products that say they're keto, just like we talked about with the supplements, there is nobody out there policing the word keto. Anybody can stamp keto on anything. You can put a bag of sugar and say it's keto friendly, and then they say the serving size is half a teaspoon. So nobody's monitoring this. There actually is a company that you can pay like $1,000 per product, or it's actually based on how much your sales are to put keto certified, but it's a little better than not having anybody watching it. So, so nobody's testing them. And also I have a friend, Kim Howerton, that has done like blood sugar testing of some of those keto breads and a lot of other products. And she's found that spikes her blood sugar higher than the regular version, like some of those breads that are out there. So buyer beware, don't believe the labels. In fact, I teach my clients, if it says keto on the front of it, like run, it's probably not. Also a lot of those, if you actually are counting total carbs, you're going to get 25 or 30 grams of carbs in one little, like those protein bars or something like that. And so people fall prey to the, just like that article that we went over. If it says keto, it should be fine. But it's like you've got toddlers out there making keto products and they're making a lot of money out, and they just keep making more. And somebody's like, that's not true. And they're like, I don't care. I'm going to keep making more.
And don't trust any babies to make your food is really what we're getting at.
Right. See, I told you I was going to, before the show, Cavin and I went over the outline of the show, and I told you, I said, so the teaching segment is where I talk so much that I dry my throat out completely. That's how we know when that's done. All right. So quickly, I'm going to tell you guys the recommendations. Do you have a show tonight, Cavin? Am I making you late to your show here?
They canceled me. They canceled my show. Yeah.
Is it because you wanted them to have certain kinds of cocktails at the show? Is that why? Or
no, they just as we've learned in Pittsburgh, you don't get to say mean things about it, and they keep you there. No, it's just a venue that didn't have their stuff together.
Okay, all right. Well, here is where I make my recommendations. So I've told you the things to watch out for, how they're not doing you any favors, how they're slowing down your results, even could make you gain weight. So for electrolytes, we talked about that. The number one thing you got to recommend, you got to worry about is salt. Get enough salt. Listen to episode 4. I go a lot more into that. Go back and listen to episode 4. I found that almost none of my clients need any of the other electrolytes. Sometimes they maybe need a little magnesium, potassium, but that's on a case-by-case basis. The products that I like, that I recommend, again, you want to see that it has 1,000 milligrams or 1 gram of sodium per serving. The 2 that I have that I like, I'm going to mention here. One is the Element product, LMNT. Their website is Drink Element. It's the word element without the E's. Drinkelement.com. And then Redmond Real Salt has a electrolyte product that is called Relight, and that also has 1 gram of sodium per serving. There may be a couple other ones out there, but those are kind of my top products that I like. I like the companies, and where they're sourcing things is really good too. I should have had some water. Skip the exogenous ketones and other weight loss pills altogether. Just nope. Say goodbye to those. Nope. Eat real food. So as far as like the carby pseudo foods and snack foods and things like that, eat real whole foods. I recommend counting total carbs, and that will cut most of those things out. You want to track foods for your best results. So go back and listen to episodes 1 and 5 for more details about that. Now, after you've been doing this a while, for my clients, I'll have them like maybe try one product, see how it does. Does it bring back your cravings? Does it turn on your appetite? So kind of like Susan and Valerie were talking about how the ice cream is like maybe an occasional thing for them, but they don't keep it on hand all the time, so that you can moderate your portion size. But just know that those are going to always be prone to making you want to overeat. So maybe down the road, do some trials of things, but be very strategic about how you do that, and be mindful of how they affect you, so that you don't just go back and eat all that you did before. And then, Jack Link's beefsteaks, if you need a protein bar, that's one of my favorite ones to have. It's 22 or 23 grams of protein in 1 serving size. Also, fun fact, it also has 1 gram of salt in it. So it's an electrolyte supplement and a protein snack all in one. For the sweeteners, I recommend avoiding those. At least give yourself at least 30 days, and that will get rid of all cravings. I've worked with countless self-proclaimed sugar addicts or sweet addicts, and they all think that it's impossible for them to ever get over it. But my strategy of avoiding all sweeteners for 30 days, they'll come out in 2 weeks, or at the end of my two-month program, and they'll say, I never thought I would never crave sweet, but it works every single time. Works 60% of the time, every single time. What is that? What is that quote from Anchorman?
60% of the time it works every time. Yeah.
Yeah. But this is 100% of the time it works every time.
And there's another stack of papers behind her that says that in letters from people.
Yeah. In my drawer. Yeah. Whew. All right. What now, Cavin? Well, any questions about any of that? You got, have I talked to your brain? Is your brain exploding?
No, well, I do want to say, like, you make the point about the real whole foods. I think that's been the most enjoyable thing for me on this keto, like, journey has been just like actually going and shopping for food and being like, what am I going to make and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like I went to a farmer's market. I'm not a farmer. I don't belong at a farmer's market. I grew up having to bring stuff to a farmer's market. I don't want to ever shop at one. And I was like, I liked this. I got some artisanal soaps. Nothing like getting to see the goat that the cheese you got came from. I tried to set him free, really tried to stage a little riot in the middle of a farmer's market, but that's actually been probably one of the more enjoyable things is being like, oh, I'm not just having to look at products and packages. And especially like, cause when you go out on the road and you're like, oh God, for a while there's a run of time where you're like, I just want to know what a real food tastes like. And that's been what's made this nice. So less a question, more of a like, hey, that's A+ on that recommendation.
Well, and just this isn't on topic or anything, but just for you, another little nugget of success nugget for you is that when you are eating out at restaurants or on the road, so as a comedian, I know you're eating a lot of bar food, you're eating at clubs, and it's all bar food. Like, but when you're ordering your bunless whatever or salad, get double the fat. Like get a side of butter, 2 sides of butter, double or triple the dressing on your salad because that's where your satiety is going to come from. And so like you get that burger and pour a pat of butter on top of it. It's going to give you a different level of satiety since you're not eating those carbs. Same thing with the salad. So a lot of restaurants will really skimp on the dressing on there. So I always get like, can I get an double ranch or an extra side of ranch or blue cheese or, Caesar dressing or something like that? Because you're going to still feel a little bit of hunger until you get that fat satiety there. So
good to know. I'm just always happy when I see a place that has like buffalo wings that aren't breaded. And I'm like, thank you. There's one place here in Pittsburgh that serves the whole wing all as one piece. And it just looks like I've murdered a pterodactyl. And I appreciate it.
Get a side of butter and put that on there as well. So, yeah.
See, and never thought I'd ever get that advice in my life. Most of the time, people are like, maybe no butter, Cavin.
Right?
I appreciate this.
People would overhear a conversation and they're like, that woman just told that man to put butter on his food.
She's trying to kill him. She's trying to murder him in his sleep. No, it's all in good fun.
I don't know. Oh, okay. I was like, is she referencing your reference for the beginning of the show? But she's actually talking about the goat at the farmer's market. Okay. Yeah. Goat teats for the win. Okay. Another time that you can say the T word and be not canceled on.
Goats and men. It's really what we're allowed to have.
Oh my gosh. Well, have I talked your ear off enough here? Should we wrap this up? Tease next week's episode. And
what are you going to be talking about next week?
When you're not here. So next week, this is inspired by one of my clients' questions. She wanted to know, like, her brother-in-law was very concerned that keto wasn't safe. So next week, I'm going to talk all about, like, is keto safe? Is it safe to stay in ketosis forever? And spoiler alert, I'm actually going to talk about, like, that's not actually the goal with what I'm doing with keto with people. So anyways, that'll be the topic next week. Is it safe? What's the goal with a keto diet? I normally would recap everything we just talked about in this episode, but I think I talked it out enough. I think I got it. So, Cavin, now it's your time to share us. How can people follow you, find out more about your comedy, anything you got coming up you want to plug?
Heck yeah. As I found out, you don't actually have to do anything to be stamped keto. So all my comedy is keto approved. So for all of my keto jokes, you can go to my website, cavineggleston.com. Or follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Cavin_EGG. So CAVIN _EGG.
I should have done a banner for this. CavinEggleston.com. Oops,
yep.
Eggleston.com. Oh, I just did a folder. Oh, nope. Oops. Oh. CavinEggleston.com.
Yeah, and actually the name on my
right?
as I'm popping up on the live stream is all my social media names. So at Cavin_egg. Next week I'm going to be in the Indiana area, so I'm going to be in Indianapolis at Helium, and then I'm going to be at the Fort Wayne Comedy Club that weekend. So
nice, big time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Cavin, so much for being here. What a joy.
Thank you for having me.
What a treat. It's such a treat to have you here.
Sugar-free treat is what I am.
Yes. And not the gummy bear kind either.
Yeah,
so.
no. Well, I will make you poop.
Yes. Oh, thank you, everyone, for watching. And we got Valerie. Informative, fun as always. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching, everyone. Come back next week. We'll see you next time. Bye.